Tajweed through Juz Amma, Introduction to the course. The course itself is going to consist of 3 semesters, each semester consisting of about 13 weeks of classes, usually 1 class per week. So in total it's going to take about 9 months to master this one juz. In terms of resources that we're going to make available, we're going to have pre-recorded sample surah recitations. So this will be each surah recorded individually that you can listen to, and they're recited very slowly, very clearly, and with a very flat tune, so it is easy to imitate. These will be made available to you before each class when you're expected to read or recite the recitation of that particular surah to the teacher. We'll also be making available webinars, which are video recorded PowerPoint presentations, just like the one you're watching at the moment, and that will be available in order for you to learn certain Tajweed concepts before you go to the class. And we'll have a Tajweed course manual with more detailed notes that you can also add your own notes to, and between these 3 resources you've got everything you need in order to learn the science of Tajweed and to practice your recitations. Now, this particular course is a very intensive course, and it's designed to build the foundations for all your future recitation. And what we mean by that, it's an intense program that takes one juz very slowly, and we train you very meticulously to be very accurate and precise in your recitation. And we're going to cover very in-depth Tajweed rules, not to an advanced level, but the rules we're going to learn is what you would expect anybody who says they've learnt Tajweed to know. It will be a training that will be one-on-one with a teacher, either online or face-to-face. And this means that the student will read and recite the surah many times to the teacher, and the teacher will correct the student many times over the course of the 3 semesters. Now, we'll have a correction process where we'll grade, or your teacher will grade, your mistakes into what are known as major and minor mistakes, and we'll explain that in a minute. There will be midterm and final exams within each semester, and that's to get the student to recite the surahs they've learned from memory with their corrected mistakes, so that they undertake a rigorous examination process. And this is to force a student to take the course very seriously, to maintain their recitation and memorization on schedule so they can pass the exams. It forces a level of commitment. So how does the actual one-to-one training take place? Well, before a class, the student will listen to pre-recorded sample recitations so they can correct some of their own mistakes, get an idea of what this surah should be recited as, and then they will also listen to some Tajweed lessons, so the webinars. Now, this will all happen before the class. Now, when they come to the class, the student will then read the surah once to the teacher. The teacher will listen to that, and then the teacher will ask the student to recite each line of the surah very slowly, and then the teacher will highlight mistakes in each line and he'll grade them as major or minor. The teacher will then explain to the teacher how to correct the mistake, and that will be a detailed explanation until the student understands what they're doing wrong with their pronunciation, or where they're maybe putting their tongue in the wrong place, maybe letting out a bit of air on letters where you're not supposed to let out air, etc. Then the student will go away and they will have 1 week to memorize the surah and correct the recitation. So that will require some intense practice. Then when the student returns again the next week, they'll recite the surah from memory to the teacher, and the teacher will grade them again and highlight any problems still not resolved. In terms of the grading, we have major and minor mistakes. So major mistakes are those that change the meaning of what you're actually reciting. And this is a very major problem, because we cannot allow people to recite the Quran and change the meaning in their recitation, because essentially then you're not reciting the Quran, or you could be saying something what the scholars term as ugly, something that is you just shouldn't be saying. Now, if the student cannot rectify these major mistakes by the end of the semester, i.e. before the final exam, then they will be asked to stay and repeat that semester. They will not be allowed to move into the next semester. Minor mistakes do not change the meaning of what is being recited. However, they're mistakes that are required for somebody to say they can recite with Tajweed. And these mistakes, they take a lot of more time to resolve, because it takes training of the jaws, a lot of readjustment of the positioning of the tongue, maybe it's being able to adjust the complete way you use your mouth, tongue, throat, etc., and that takes time. So we allow the students to take out these mistakes over the entire 3 semesters. In terms of commitment and practice, this varies very much between different students. Some students can practice maybe 1 hour a day, other students 2 hours, and by the end of the 3rd semester some students can go up to 2 to 3 hours a day. Now this depends on how easy it is for the student to learn, how easy it is for them to adjust their recitation, and how easy it is for them to memorize. However, it is not possible to get through this course with just half an hour here and there in the week. It will not work. It is impossible, because this is a high level of training. It requires a high level of dedication. And the way we're going to work the course is, because of the amount of commitment required by the teachers, anyone who does not practice enough, and this will become very obvious after a few weeks, they'll be asked to leave the course. Because we can only get people to the correct level of recitation if they put in the practice. The practice also trains the jaws, and there are muscles that are required in the throat, in the jaw itself, which need to be developed and strengthened over the 9 months or the 3 semesters. The memorization takes time. It depends on the student. Normally younger children, teenagers, can learn much quicker than adults. Some people can learn half a page a week. Some people can only learn a few lines. Some people can learn an entire page. So the schedule that we've put out for the 3 semesters is a reasonable amount of time to learn 1 juz. And that gives a brief introduction to the course as a whole. When you enroll with your teacher, he'll give you a document which will be a fully documented idea of the class, with some rules about the etiquettes of how you conduct yourself in the class with yourself and with other students as well.